everyone, we're going to be checking out a brand new mod, and this one has quickly become one of my favorites to have in your Sims 4 game. This is the Medical School Active Career by Sims World. Yes, that's right, you now can have your Sims go to like an active medical school. Now it is under the career panel, but this is not supposed to be like a main career. This is supposed to be like where your Sims can, pretend to get their medical education and then eventually switch to the doctor career. But super excited to show this. I'm going to show you how to set it up and then we'll do the gameplay for it. But if you want to see exactly what this mod entails, make sure you watch till the end. But without further ado, let's get into today's mod review. Alright, so we're in CAS for good reasons. I wouldn't put you here unless we needed to be here. But as you can see, my Sim is in her scrubs, which is from Get to Work, which is required, with a couple other packs that are required for certain things within the mod. But Get to Work is definitely required for you to go with your Sims. But essentially, first thing that I want to go over is there's a trait under the lifestyle panel, and it's this medical student. Now, you don't have to necessarily put this for your Sims, but it lets them be able to brag about being in medical school and complain about it. And I figured since we're doing the medical school student mod, I should probably give her the trait. So this is my Sim. Now we will get into the lot setup now. Okay, so I'm in Newcrest, and the lot that Sims World actually made for the mod is on a 40 by 30. So I'm gonna place it on this lot right here. You don't have to place it in Newcrest, you can place it wherever, but basically when you go into the gallery, you can download this one by Sims World, which is the creator of the mod, or you can download whichever one you want, but this one I find is absolutely perfect because it literally has everything that you need for it, and it's the creator of the mod who built it as well. So we're gonna go ahead and place this and edit it because you do need to have either the updated version of base mental venue lists or Zerbu venue changes. One or the other. Do not have both in your mod folder because you need to be able to have the lot venue for it. And if it's not the correct lot venue, your Sims will not be able to go to medical school with your Sims. They'll just go to a rabbit hole, and that's not what we want. We want to go with them. So when you are in the actual build mode with the actual medical school, this is what it looks like. They also have a downstairs area as well for your students. They can, get some sleep. They can go swimming. This thing is packed with everything that your Sims possibly need to exceed in med school. Anyways, like I was saying, we need to go up to the venue info, and the lot type, we do not want it to be residential. That's not good. We want to scroll down up until we see the medical school right here. Not the medical clinic, the medical school. We're not there yet for the clinic. We don't even have a medical degree. So we'll go ahead and do this, and then we'll go ahead and save it. Now, I did want to point out that this does not work like Discovery University, where your Sims are going to get a degree after this. This is more so to have an active, schooling for it. So your Sims kind of go through like the intern stuff to the resident to fellow, and then they can pick whatever department they want to work in. And then from there, you just move them into the doctor career so that it's more, doctor based. Now, if you did want your Sims in university, you could do that and, get them their medical degree, and or you can just kind of cheat them to get a medical degree after this. But essentially, I found that this mod was a very cool idea to have it be more active because Discovery University, we don't have really any active classes. So anyways, then the next thing that I wanted to do is if you have high school years, we got the ability to have a whiteboard. And in these lecture halls, you might say, or these lecture classrooms, you can put up like whiteboards. So what I'm going to do is go into content and click on custom content. And you can see these whiteboards right here. They have a couple different ones that you can click on, but the ones that when I was playtesting it, they had a lot with the brain. So we can put this little guy right here, and then you can like have your Sims essentially study the brain for it. And then if we go into here, we could probably put like this cardiac one up there, and it makes it just to be a little bit more realistic for your Sims when they're in the lecture halls. And then maybe we can do this hematology one and then put that in there. But you can choose whatever whiteboard you want, but those are the three that I'm going to put up in these classrooms. And now, since we have all of that set up, the other thing that you can do if you're in like going back to venue info, is you can go back to this traits panel and click on this pick a trait, because you don't have to add it, but I added it just because it is a medical school. But basically your Sims will get like an inspired like buff when they get on the property, and that should help them, you know, get some of their stuff done. So I just put it there. You don't have to, it's not required, but it is an option for you to have. But I, you know, since we're doing it, we might as well put it in there. And then as you all know, we can go back to manage worlds now that we've completed. If you've been on this channel for a minute now, you probably already know what I'm going to do next. Is I'm going to save it again in the world map just to make sure that this guy stayed the medical school, because, you know, sometimes they like to revert back to resident lots and we don't want that. All right, so now that we are back to my Sims lot, what our first thing of order will be is to have her go into the career, join a career, and then from there we can have her join into the medical school career. So as you can see, we have, you know, this medical student career right here, and we're going to be starting as a pre-clinical medical student 1. It is unpaid. The first few levels are unpaid because you're, you know, learning, you're a student, but you can get part-time jobs if you have the unlimited jobs mod. I can't remember who it's by, but you can basically get a part-time job if it doesn't conflict with the schedule here. We'll go ahead and join it, and these are our promotion tasks. And you're probably wondering, well, how do I get to this white coat ceremony? We'll get to that in a minute, but what I did want to show you is through UI cheats, for everyone wondering how I got to this window. This is basically the lineup for this career. There's only 7 levels. Again, this is not supposed to be like your main career. This is supposed to be just like a step to the main career. So we have the medical students 1 through 4, then the intern, and then resident and fellow. And I'm pretty sure you start getting paid by this intern, resident, and fellow levels. So you'll get some money by the fellow. You get like 35 simoleons an hour, so it's not too terrible. We're not going to play all of these levels today because the fun part is actually playing with it. But what we can do is there are a lot more options with the medical school. If you have a computer, that was right in front of my face and I just couldn't find it, right here. If you click on it, you can go to this medical school panel right here. And as I was saying, you can choose a specialty as well. Now, this is still a mod in the making, so these won't be available until you become a fellow, I'm pretty sure. And then you can apply to medical school, which we can do right now. Granted, you don't have to do this, but it's part of the gameplay. So if you wanted to make it a little bit more realistic, you can actually apply to medical school. They won't like accept or deny you. You can join, you know, you got to join through the career panel, not through this panel. You can attend the white coat ceremony, which I'll have her do because that is part of our promotional stuff. Also, very important to keep this enable follow message on because that's how you're going to be able to follow them to work. Yeah, so it's basically saying, congratulations, Taylor, just applied, but to be honest, we've already, you know, gotten the job. Now she's going off to her white coat ceremony, so this is also another rabbit hole, but while she's there, I'll kind of run through the different things that you can do. So you can do medical research, you can also develop treatment plans. This is when you become a resident, you'll be able to do a lot more stuff within this panel as well. You can also pay tuition and fees. So again, if you want to make it a little bit more realistic, you can pay the 90,000 simoleons to do that. You can go to study session and then go to medical conference as well. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do within this panel. A lot of it will actually be, you know, of the promotion tasks that we do once we get to the lot for medical school. I believe the white coat ceremony lasts a couple hours in your Sims, which is quite nice because then you don't have to worry about them. But she is back now, and the other thing that I'll probably have her do just for the sake of the mod is she can go ahead and pay those tuition fees. 90 bands out of my Sims 4 account. That just doesn't feel right. As Discovery University is cheaper than this medical school. But it does create for that realism because I know that medical school is very expensive. The next thing that we need to do is there are books that we can purchase. So this is going to be under the skill, and it's going to be down by volume. So it'll be in the V section because they alphabetical order them. They alphabetically, put them in order for you. And they should be titled The Foundation of Medicine is one we want. Then the Essentials of Pharmacology, and then this Clinical Pathways. They're a lot cheaper than some of these college books that I see. I know those college books can be very expensive. At least they're only 450 simoleons. But the great thing about that is once we get these books, my sim can start with volume 1 to get the medical science skill, which will help her within the career as well. So I guess we'll wait for Monday morning for my sim to be able to start her first day of being a medical student. So it's almost time for my sim to go to work, and it's from 8 to 8 p.m. Where are you going? Where are you going? You should get a pop-up window saying that your sim is going to work. Would you like to follow them right here, right on time? If you do not get this, then the lot was set up incorrectly. But I think we'll join Taylor for this career day. Maybe tomorrow I'll send her alone if it's too much. All right, so my sim is at the medical school, her very first day. So basically we have, professors, med school students that will be with our sims that we can introduce ourselves to. So one of the first things up on the list is to study basic anatomy. So if we click on I'm wondering if studying the skeletal anatomy will be what we need to study the basic anatomy, or if that's something completely different, but she's studying it. All right, well, I guess that didn't work. So what we can do is we can go up to these lecture halls. We can basically introduce ourselves to our professor. We'll be in these halls, in these rooms. And once you introduce yourselves to the professors, you will get another window right here, the medical student interactions, where you can have interactions with your professors. You can have doctor interactions as well, and also patient interactions, because there will be some patients from time to time that will come in. But for our professors, we want to discuss the recent lecture that they did that my sim so diligently watched and listened to. Once they do that, you can get like little pop-ups here that will be medical related. So my sim found the lecture to be interesting. We got to do that to the next 3 professors, so I'll do this really quickly. Okay, so we just finished that one, and so the next one that we need to do is study basic anatomy. And with this one, how to find it is going to the medical student, and then we're just going to have her study this basic anatomy, and she'll use it with the computers. Nice thing is your sims can also take lecture notes as well. That will be one task that will pop up, and how you do that is essentially just going into this section and write lecture notes, and then you'll get that done. So it's almost like they're setting in the class. Right now we have this professor teaching us, and these is a medical student, and then we have another medical student, and then this is our professor from the other class, and she's talking and studying basic anatomy. So hopefully she knows what she's doing. In this classroom, it looks like we have a standardized patient here. Our next thing is to get to know peers. So I guess we can introduce our sim to this medical student over here, and we need to get to know 1 out of 3 people. All right, I guess we can waltz into this classroom. This is a medical student as well. There are a lot of medical students, and there's also doctors that will come in here. As you can see, Angel is a doctor. I'm not sure. Oh, this is a standardized patient. Okay, because I was about to say, Indigo, where are your clothes? All right, I think I've figured out the 3. All right, here we go. The next thing is we need to study or read. So maybe there's something in here that we can study. Study basic anatomy. Oh, you know what I can do? I think it's on these books. We can just read one of these books, and I think we'll have it done. Or maybe she'll be able to study that basic anatomy and get it done that way. So that did not work, but I'll have her read that. But anyways, the other things that you can do within this mod is you can, have them use this. Now, I'm not sure how much they get that done. They need to attend 3 lectures, which is writing the lecture notes. So perfect. There's someone in here. So like I was saying, you go in here and then you click on the write lecture notes. As she's doing that, they'll sit and pretend like they're listening. They get the medical student, the medical science skill as their teacher is talking. And then the other thing that they can do is, test their, logic skill, with the analysis stuff. Sometimes there's stuff going down over here. You can also practice debating and all of that. It is pretty self-explanatory, but I love how realistic it is. Adds another thing of gameplay for your Sims within this mod, so it feels like they're actually going to medical school. And it might get repetitive, but at least it's another sort of gameplay that you can have. You can, rise above the ranks, be able to pick your specialty. Within the regular medical school, the doctor career, we don't get all of these stuff. So to make it a little bit more realistic, I honestly love the idea. They can also study this board as well, which will go with the study for thing. You know what? I'm just going to click on these things because she don't need to do that. She don't need to go get food. She's already done that. Here's where we can get to practice brain anatomy, which is this board over here. Her day's about to end, but we can go ahead and stay later. So we'll get out in like 3 hours instead of 8 o'clock. I love how she's just studying this as there's a whole lecture going on. So yeah, as she does that, I can also have her go back to writing the lecture notes once she's done studying the brain stuff. And this is why you need high school years for the whiteboard. You don't necessarily need it to a degree if you don't have it. You can always kind of UI cheats it, but it is a nice addition because it makes it more realistic. And you can see she's kind of like writing it down too. I mean, obviously the words don't appear on the whiteboard, but it does make it for some realism. She's completed that now, and she's gonna go write her second lecture notes of the day. I will say it's probably a great thing that they've made this from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. because we all know Sims. So now our work day is almost over and we haven't completed everything, which is really why you need to be on it with your Sims. Like, on it. They can't be messing around at med school. We want competent doctors in the Sims 4 workplace, which is why she's speaking to her peers and not doing anything medical related. Yeah, no, her workday is done. Oh, it was like right on time. Right on time. Of course, we don't have anything that we earned from today's, workday, but at least we got 1 out of the 5 active days completed, so that hopefully by the end of the week, my sim will be able to get a promotion. Also, thank God, she left her book at med school and they so graciously returned it back to us. But as you can see here, 1 out of 5 days is complete. We really do need to work on her logic skill. But I will wrap up the video here because a fun part about this mod is actually playing it within your gameplay and experiencing all the stuff for the first time, except instead of me just going through all of it. But again, these are the things that you have available to you. If I wanted my sim to attend an online lecture, they can do that as well. These are things that they are able to do outside of med school as well. They can also are able to shadow and attending at the hospital when they're the second year of medical school, which I assume is that medical student 2, which would mark technically your 4 years of pre-med. And so yeah, we've basically went over the basics for this mod. Again, the fun part is with you guys going through it and playing through all the different, levels that you can, all the different ranks that you can with this career and playing through the mod. So with that, I will leave it to you. Thank you all so much for watching today's YouTube video. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. For me, I absolutely love the doctor career. So to have this mod where you can actually follow your Sims to med school is just so cool to me. And just the attention to detail in this mod is insane. This is version 2 of this mod, but she plans to update it and basically add more things to it. But already it is so cool and so much fun to play with. So I can't wait to hear what you guys think of this mod. But again, all the links will be on my Patreon page with the mod link, the house, and the sim link. So if you want to go check that out, definitely hit up my Patreon page, which will be linked in the description. But if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment down below. And if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But with that, I will see you all on Wednesday.